The IS-8 is a tier 9 trans-Soviet tank because it was born as a heavy tank in a heavy tank line, but sometime in production he said, fuck it and transform itself in a medium tank, and now we have this abomination of a hybrid heavy medium tank. Now you might ask, why even play this tank? First, it's because it leads to the IS-7, one of the most fun tanks out there, and second and most important, it's because of the nature of the IS-8 makes it have a unique playstyle. And now let's look at the aspects of the IS-8. First, the firepower. Now you are probably thinking the gun must suck, because it's a 122mm Russian cannon, but that's the part you get surprised. It's the same gun as the IS-4 and ST-1, which means it have awesome penetration, especially in the heat rounds, and the gun handling, it's the second best among all tier 9 heavy tanks, only losing to the Conqueror, which is rare considering you are talking about Russian tanks. And the DPM is decent, sitting at 2259 base. In conclusion, this gun is A tier, and she puts a lot of tier 10 guns to shame. Oh yeah, the gun hits bullshit shots. Now, let's talk about the mobility. The mobility. The IS-8 mobility, it's the best among all heavy tanks because of its nature. That means you can get into positions earlier than every other heavy tank, and you can relocate mid-game for better angles against your opponents. You can go at 40 km/h easily. You can take the hill on mines to support your medium and light tanks, and there is a position in the south, spawn of vineyards, that you can spot and shoot the enemy slow heavy tanks. Having this mobility, you can always support your medium tanks, which means that almost every game you must go to the medium flank, because that's the flank that you can win games. The last, let's talk about the armor. As everything in life, there is a cost, and the IS-8 is no exception. To have this mobility, the IS-8 has sacrificed its armor. First, the front of the hull is absolute paper. Even tier 8s will have a easy time penetrating you. The side armor is tralish, with this purple bar indicating spaced armor, which means that sometimes the enemy will foolish shot there, causing bounces. And now the turret. You think this turret will be strong, because the IS-3 and IS-7 have strong turrets, but you are wrong. The IS-8's turrets only have armor in the mantlet. Every other part of turret is a easy pen for any tier 9 or tier 10 tank, and if you turn just a little bit of your turret, you create even more weak spots. If you angle the hull, you create another weak spot. That means no angle, best angle. In resume, the armor is a joke, that sometimes it's useful. Now let's look at the techniques you must have to play with the IS-8. First one is side hug. It's one of the most effective techniques, and it's very effective against German super heavies. Make sure to be always wiggle your tank to increase the chance of them missing their shots. The second technique is to never go alone. I know this is valid for all tanks, but please trust me, going with your teammates will guarantee your victory. Especially if you bring the big guns against the enemy Japanese's heavy tanks that can't think under pressure. And the last one is, play in the medium side, because usually is the flank that win games, with your awesome gun, good mobility and controversial armor. You can destroy the medium flank and carry your team to victory. That means no heavy side, because if you go there you'll look like free food in the middle of nowhere surrounded by cannibals. For loadout I'm using this, and remember to don't use any camo, so people will think you are stupid. And now enjoy this montage of me playing the IS-8.